It. Congressional Democrats call it the Green New Deal, an idealistic approach to protecting this country against climate change, but it instantly became a lightning rod as well for conservatives, and the topic for this morning's Flashpoint. From the right, Emmert, Dallas County's former Republican chairman, and from the left, Rich Hancock from virtualnewscenter.com.
Well, thank you, Jason, and happy Sunday morning to you. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez has proposed, among others, a new Green Deal, which with its stated purpose of being eliminating fossil fuels in the next 10 years for climate change. Rich Hancock, is that even practical? What are the politics of this proposal?
Well, was the moon race practical? Is anything that hasn't been done before practical? Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez has proposed the Green New Deal, which is optimistic, it is energetic, it is a look into the future of a future without fossil fuels. No one would have thought about a future without fossil fuels a long time ago, but then again, no one would have thought about a world without buggy whips at the turn of the century. The simple fact is the Green New Deal is important because we need to minimize our carbon footprint on the planet, and the Trump administration is diametrically opposed to that.
I will go on record, I am pro-buggy whip. No, the reality is it's not even practical, and many Democrats will say it's not practical. The reality is 4/5 of our energy, it comes from fossil fuels. To say we want to eliminate it within 10 years is not even practical. The reality is this goes far beyond just reducing fossil fuels, and she wants to rebuild our economy into something other than it is. Many people are calling this a socialist manifesto. Nancy Pelosi won't even sign on to this thing.
The Democrats who are opposed to this in practice right now are the more moderate, the more conservative of Democrats who want to say, let's take things one step at a time, baby steps. But as we know from the climate reports and the Paris Accord, we don't have time for baby steps. We need big steps on the Green New Deal. From the left, I'm Rich Hancock.
It's not even practical. From the right, I'm Emmert.